Hey, good evening, and welcome to another recording of what I'm calling Freedom of Being. It's a channel of loving sovereignty. Just discussions on my part, I guess one way discussions. We're calling them conversations these days, but talking to you and hopefully with you. If you respond back, you're welcome to like and leave comments behind and share if you feel it's relevant to, to your life or perhaps to someone else's. Our conversations is simply about being free in spirit and love and heart. Not so much the deeper metaphysics of it. There are so many great folks out there that can give you that discussion. And also a lot of things that just have to do with, say, doing business online. Um, I've been studying these things and looking at certain necessities and just ways of doing things like that to communicate with audiences who get you. And if something I say or someone else says that has to do that they're recording, and if you get them and they get you, then there's we're calling it niches, but we're calling it communities really, and they talk in terms of building cultures that surround that, and there's an exchange of energy in the ways of money or something else that that signifies the amount of value that we're sharing between each other. And that's a pretty cool thing when done with integrity. It's a new paradigm of doing things where people who are making more and more, who are expanding their wealth, are doing so by assisting others to do the same. If you're looking for a utopian business model, that is it. In fact, isn't that true business? I guess, if we are looking at definitions of business, that would be fairly trading value between people. And that makes sense to me. And if the primary ambition in this process is love, then we do well. We just do well, every one of us. And isn't that just a beautiful thing? So I'm hoping that you're feeling like that just about your life, um, recognizing that you are of value and that you have something to share. And the sharing is essentially a trade because no one has to expect anything back. But the beauty is that when value is given well with sincerity and integrity, the universe returns it to you in such a way that you are never without because you are to be filled and refilled again and again because there's so much that you're giving forward in love. And that's just the way life works. It comes to us in all kinds of ways. It comes to us in ways we're not expecting. And how could we see all the possibilities that the universe might bring us blessings? So God bless you. In this holiday season, I want to make a special shout out to Master J, who I call Jesus the Christ. This is AKA for me, the Christ of Nazareth. And say this is a season to celebrate that joy. And technically, every day is the season to celebrate joy and happiness, peace on earth, and goodwill towards all human beings. But particularly with all of us having such a focus in this period, may your focus really be about the love and joy of such a story of life and a sacrifice and a historical presence of someone who saw fit and had it written on his heart to do something remarkable since the beginnings of time. And also, he then paving the way for all of us to do likewise. This is not a discussion about religion or comparing religions or any of that kind of dividing nonsense. If love is not your common denominator, then check yourself on your religious foundations, because the foundation of any good religion is love, is love. And we want to make sure that you're tying your loose ends to get your loose ends together so that you're centralized in what we would call the life of Christ. Just the life of Christ, a certain place within us that is perfectly situated within a kingdom of perfection reality. It's the very thing that we're evolving into when you look at business models like this, or if your neighborhoods are starting to change and shift because of love. There's more helping, there's more patience, there's more peace, there's less violence, there's less suspicion between neighbors. We're going someplace that's different. See it for yourself. Believe it within yourself, and it becomes a reality more and more as you expand and are led by that very presence in you. You may not even bloom in the place where you're planted currently, but if you are made to bloom where you're planted, rest assured that you will gain strength and joy and peace and patience and abundance in every kind of form because you're willing to give of love and to love yourself, which is key. More than anything else, first, you love God and your neighbor as yourself. And in order for you to love your neighbor as yourself, you have to know God within you because that's where God would be, wouldn't it? If you're made in his image, don't you have that DNA? God bless you. Peace be with you. Peace be you. Be loved.